name is Vivek Sanghvi, and welcome to MEDI-TRACKER. It's a healthcare app designed to connect doctors and patients. It was built using a Rails backend, a React Redux frontend, and has real authentication using B-Crypt and JWT. So let's start by logging in as a doctor. So this application has real authentication. If a doctor logs in with the wrong password, they'll be hit with those validations. Upon logging in with the correct email and password, we will be brought to a list of all the patients for that doctor. As we can see here, every single patient has a patient medications button. So we can click on John Morant and check his medications out. As you can see, I have 4 medications already prescribed. However, as a doctor, I can go ahead and prescribe more medications. So let's go ahead and do that. All of this medication data was populated from RxImage API. So let's go ahead and click on a medication. As a doctor, we can put any warnings. We can choose the number of pills and when in the day the patient should take that medication. We can go ahead and add that medication, and all of this will render on the patient side. If a doctor makes any mistakes, he can go back in and edit what he just did. He can click to save it, and then he can also go ahead and delete any medications. The next feature for a doctor is to add a patient. So right now, patients cannot sign up on their own. They can only sign up through a doctor. Again, we will have some validations. If an email is already taken, so let me just show you that. We can see that the email is already in use. So let's give that patient a new email that has not been used yet. Upon signing up, if everything works, we should get some validations that the patient was created. We can go back to manage patients and see that that patient was added at the bottom, and then we can go ahead and prescribe any medications to that patient. The next feature for a doctor is the calendar feature. It is a fully functional calendar. We can go ahead and add any events. We can go ahead and move it around on the calendar if we pick the wrong day. If we want a specific time with the event we just created, we have to go to the week or the day button, and then we can move it around and we will get a time. And we can see that persists on the month at 3 a.m. Additionally, when we add an event, it is added to our all events. We can toggle if we want weekends or not. And then the last thing for the calendar is we can go ahead and delete anything we just created. The final feature for a doctor is a notes section. If they are in any meetings, they can go ahead and make some color-coordinated notes. As you can see, it persists at the bottom. And we can choose from one of 4 colors for the notes. Additionally, we can go ahead and delete those notes, and we will get some feedback that the note was deleted. And that wraps up the doctor side. So now let's log into the patient side. Similarly, with the doctor side, we also have validations. If a patient logs in with the wrong email or password, they will be hit with some feedback. Upon logging in with the correct email and password, we will be brought to a list of all the medications that were prescribed for John Morant. We can see the name of the medication, the doctor's instructions, the number of pills, and the color of the pill. We can go ahead and toggle if we took the medication or not. We can also unclick it if we accidentally took it. Every single medication has a Learn More button. That'll take you to an encyclopedia, the same place where I got the API from. You can just type in the medication, it'll give you all the details for that medication. And then the last feature for the patient is to edit their profile. We saw on the doctor side that they're signed up with a dummy password, so we can go ahead and change any of these attributes, the name, email, picture, or password. So let's go ahead and do that. Originally, my email was pat1@gmail, so let's just make it pat12345@gmail. Let's just get a quick picture of Ja Morant. And let's give Ja Morant a new password. If we submit and everything works, we'll get a validation that the profile was updated. We can see everything persist once we log out and log back in. We can see that my name was changed. And now if I log in on the doctor side, we can also see that my picture was changed. Right here. And that wraps up MEDI-TRACKER. Thank you so much, and I would welcome any questions in the comments below.